It's like drinking a glass of molasses.
Good stuff.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We are live here on the KotoKai Robo-Dojo. Workbench. KotoKai. We are on our Workbench episode number 62.
We're almost senior citizens.
It's a whole lot of episodes. Another day, another dollar. Here in the land of the cooped up. Turn it down just a little bit. All right. Well, this evening, we will be joined here in a little bit by mutual friend, Land of the Rona. Yes, Sam, Land of the Rona. At least for me, New York City hotspot. Paul's got his own infestation. Don't worry, those cases will start popping up real hardcore down there, buddy.
Oh yeah, we're actually Palm Beach County in all of Florida has the highest amount of deaths, which is not good. And our three counties like Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade make up like half the cases in Florida. So luckily we're not as close together as you guys are. So it hasn't been as bad, but
population density really kicks our asses down here.
Yeah,
or over here, up here, wherever here is.
Depending on which way you go, right? I mean,
yeah, it's true. I mean, so we're on a sphere, so any way you go, you're going to eventually end up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys, like, it's hard to get 6 feet away from people.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, what's up, Andrew? How you doing, buddy?
Our governor just signed a stay-at-home order for 2 weeks, and it's supposed to get worse in 2 weeks. Yeah, kind of feel like that's, state of the world right now, right?
That is how it is. We're looking at stay-at-home in NYC until the end of the month, till the end of April.
That's what ours has been issued until May 1st.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I made my potentially last hobby purchase that I will be making in a while.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see how it goes. Had to what's that?
So it's
good time to get work done.
And have a little. It's good, not a bad time to have a little stash of kits laying around.
Oh, I have so many. I actually am making room in here because the kits are being put together and the boxes are coming off the floor and going up on the shelf where they were previously unable to fit. I do not short on kits. It's things like I bought primer. I bought a 2-pack of extra thin because this is getting kind of low, and we're coming up on custom season here, so I'm gonna need plenty of that for my styrene builds. And gloss coat, because you go through much more gloss coat than you go matte coat when you're building stuff. I have found.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because typically through your decaling, weathering, yada 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 stages, you do multiple stages of gloss coat, but typically you only do one,
Yeah, the final coat
at the end.
It's fine. Usually that's the only final black coat. Got to drill up in my super glue here. Don't drill through my finger.
Yeah, my wife has been home the last 2 days. She has not been feeling well. Thankfully, it's not. It's like a sinus infection. It's all like
it's totally different
up in the face area. But still, nonetheless, it's like not a good time to go to work.
Dude, I hear you.
Like even remotely. I feel
Yeah,
like you're like, oh, you coughed, let's take you out back, put it into you.
Yeah. The allergies here in the city always get me, and so that's been like kind of in swing. But for me, it's been like, nasal congestion and like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
So she watched like, I don't know, 4 series on Netflix in the last 2 days.
Burning through them. Holy cow.
Yeah. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, I know that guy.
How you doing? How's our northern neighbors doing?
Hanging in there?
Yeah.
I heard that's the new high. How's it? How you holding up is the new hello.
Yeah. Are you alive, friend?
Indeed. I don't know weird globules in there. All right, well, fuck it.
It does, like, are you ever going to shake someone's hand again? I'm not sure. I don't know if I will.
Jeff says, swell right here.
All right. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think Jeff's kind of remote where he's at, relatively. Which is good right now, huh?
Yep, space. Need more space.
Yep.
That's not what I want to happen.
Nasal decongestion sprays. That's good, man. Yeah, it's from someone was telling me today that like it's a really rough time for pollen, particularly like right now here. Is what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah. Yeah, the city's been pretty rough.
yeah, so I get sinuses and stuff, but I'm one of those people like like the first half hour I'm awake, it's a problem, and then after that I just kind of my body adjusts or whatever. But my wife has asthma and really bad like polyps in her sinuses, so she is not so fortunate.
Does not sound that way.
Nah, it affects her much worse than me.
Yeah, Colleen's allergic to everything, so.
Yeah. Did they ever do that dot test on her?
Uh-huh.
If my wife had that, and like it was, they were testing her for some strange things. They're like, you're allergic to like the northern cedar tree. I'm like, well,
yeah.
Why the fuck would you test for that?
It's Colleen too. A lot of people are actually. Colleen's allergic to pine trees and all that stuff, and grass and milk and vodka and.
I don't know if I could be allergic to vodka.
And I know you especially, and like nicotine and yeah, that's not bad. Can't remember. What shit? Whole bunch. What'd you say? Dust. Well, dust. Yeah. Just dust in general.
As long as it's not you, right?
Animals all dander essentially.
Yeah.
She has anhydrosis. She doesn't sweat, so she can't break a fever. If she gets a fever, she just overheats.
I would
and
definitely advise you to not go outside right now.
Yeah, that's kind of their whole reason that I've been like not. That when they were like, yo, you want to come back to work for like a little bit before they really pushed and shut down all the construction jobs or most of the construction jobs in the city. Right. I was like, I would love to, but I can't because it's not safe. Just got to be conscientious,
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Just got to mind my matters. Keep my budget on lock. So what I'm freaking with today, look at that, I'm self-censoring. I wanted something different to snap up while I was on these Thursday night live streams. So I asked Colleen to choose, and she grabbed one of our cats, and they came and chose together. And chose the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt for Ka. So I'll be snapping this up over the next several Thursday streams.
Oh, come on. You'll be done, no time. Lickety split.
Oh, look, on this one runner, there's a part that is omitted.
Actually, let me switch so you guys can see what I'm working on, because you don't want to see me. Not that you can see a whole lot from this angle either. Mess around with my lights a little bit. See if I can. What works for you guys? Makes me look even paler than I am. There we go. That worked well. Okay.
I gave you the whole shit.
Working on the Master Grade Tournay here.
Oh, hey, Pabs.
Which was chosen completely at random.
That's it. That was
That's all I got.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, Colleen's been working from home for the last several weeks as well, which has been good for her. But because of the slowdown, everything's slowing down. So
right, because she works for an engineer, right?
Yeah, for an engineering firm. So they still have jobs coming in. They're still doing stuff, and they're still working with they're converting hospitals into
right,
better hospitals, shit, stuff like that.
But still slowed nonetheless.
Yeah. So
no, I've gotten I deal with a lot of engineers for various projects and stuff, and I've had quite a few of them since we're a government agency and it's essential. They still consider us. So they've been calling me a lot, been like, hey, we can still work with you. So you want to bump up that project?
Right. I mean, if you can.
Yeah. I have a lot of projects that are remote. They're not, if I had contractors there, it wouldn't even come close to my own workers. So that's good. So I can keep some things moving. My hope is actually to send home half my employees, not because for just the reason I'll get more stuff done. I'd be more productive if they'd go home.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that at all.
Well, I'm sure you don't want to have to send anybody home for the obvious reasons, but
yes, no. Just a joke.
Yeah. Square.
I normally work from home 3 days a week, but have been 5 days a week now. I love it. My boss is like, I don't care when you work, just attend the meetings and get shit done.
Well, that's all right.
Cyber Monday level sales for weeks. Awesome, Jeff. If you can make it happen right now.
I gotta pull up the chat on my phone because the chat in the application is slow.
What's up, Brandon?
How you doing?
What's going on, man? What kind of hands does this thing have?
I'm gonna try to use it. Oh, it wouldn't let me use. It wouldn't let me use my picture I wanted to use. That's fine. Not worried about that. That's absolutely insane, Jeff, that you've been doing Cyber Monday level sales. That's wild, must say.
I'm sure, I guess a lot more people are internet shopping as opposed to brick and mortar shopping right now. So I guess depending on what you sell.
That's true. All right, I'll be building this sort of non-traditionally because I'm not going to build the emergency pod because it is not integral. That little motherfucker can just sit in the parts bin where you will go to be sacrificed.
I think it's a cool looking one if I remember right.
Yeah, it's a weird little derpy little son of a bitch, but I don't like EO anyway. I do like the suit though.
Yeah. Everything from Thunderbolt's badass. They just took it's basically somewhat RX-78 and just said, hey, this is what it would look like if it was cool.
Yeah, I have the the record of Thunderbolt 1. They go through and give you all the drawn out techie breakdowns and show you the close-ups of the cockpit and all the various goodness that comes along with that. This is really cool. Let's see if I want to show this real quick. The damage on the head from the battle. Awesome. I love it.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Psycho.
After finishing the Faz, I pulled out the real grade Saz tonight, but no joy. Work intervened again. Sorry, man. That was actually a cool build. Had not been a fan of real grades until I built that one.
Oh right. I don't have that one.
I had no intentions of actually buying it. I bought it completely on a whim. I forget where I was, Barnes and Noble or something, and I had 20% off or something like that, and it was just sitting there. So
yeah, had the old coupon.
Yeah, I was like, sure, why not? I've heard good things, but it wasn't something I was excited for necessarily. And it was a fun build. It was a cool little kit.
To the runner box. I started a box of empty runners. We're going to see how full it gets before I either run out of kits, which is crazy. It's not going to probably happen. I can still get to my storage unit, and I have another 50 or 60 kits there. So pretty sure I'm not going to run out of anything to build for quite some time. All right, here we go. I should get out my translation app so that I can read what this says. This is right. This must have come out right before they started adding in English.
What's up, Edward? How's it going, man?
Ew. Oh yeah, the Thunderbolt, both of them, both those books, get them. If you can get them, get them.
Get them.
Yeah, they're worth it. Absolutely. Oh. And lo, on a dusty hill, on a shoddy donkey, trades in.
Hey, the shoddy donkey has arrived, finally.
What's up, man?
On a shoddy donkey.
I'm sorry, guys. I did it. I think as the shoddy donkey is probably more appropriate, but sorry, guys. I tried to wrap up my stream and got a little late. And
all good.
There are no constraints, my friend. Do not worry.
Right. Well, either way, it's good to see you guys. Nora is also glad to see you guys. Nora, you want to say hi to Brian and Paul?
Daddy, I tried to turn it up, and I accidentally got out of the app.
Oh no, you got out of the app.
Oh no!
How are you going to watch Build Divers if you close the app?
Oh no! I was trying to turn it up because it was a little bit quieter.
Okay, you want a little louder?
Yeah.
How about that? Better?
Yeah.
All right, you're good. Thank you. Is the cartoon coming across the mic, guys?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. Just let me know if that becomes a thing.
I'm piping in some steamy coffee music over here.
I like that. What, Nora? Huh? What?
I'm sure it will be during the battles because the battles are very loud.
Okay, I appreciate your concern about the battles and their loudness, but I'm just gonna toss. Okay, I gotta. Okay, do you want to maybe take the iPad to a different room? Okay. Okay. Have fun. I love you. Okay. So, what are we working on?
Well, I was trying to figure out what to build, and I have a bunch of stuff here, and I wasn't able to really decide, so I asked Colleen to decide.
Cool.
She picked.
She decided to punish him.
Nice. Okay. I like that one. That's one of the only Gundams I think is cool, so I say go for it.
It's one of the
Hey,
only
Babs.
ones that up in the spot.
I'm excited to see it.
I got the Shin Musha,
Okay.
and I got the new real grade.
Nice.
It's the only one, the real grade crossbow, but I don't know if that counts.
Is the new still in the box? Have you snapped it together? Or?
Box. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know anybody that's actually put that together yet. I'm curious to see what they think of it.
I think Andy built it, but I don't know if he's on in the chat.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
He's a new fan.
Oh, yeah?
So I think he's built like every grade of new they have.
Nice.
That's true. He does like the new.
News are fun. I like the high new a lot.
I like the high new too. I think I like the high new better than the new personally, but
I do too. I think the legs on it are super cool.
yes,
All those neat vents and intakes and stuff.
it was fun build too. I built the Furka.
I would like to get that one someday. There are a couple of really cool resin conversions out for it now too that I think are pretty sick looking. So,
I just have
But the legs were awesome. I love those
I-
big vents on the side of the calf.
yeah, those look really cool. It's just a neat design element.
And I quite like the purple and white. I don't know why. It's
Yeah, it's a great color combination. Like it's
simple.
just which is what Gundams need. Like the main reason I never got into Gundams that much, I think, is just because of the god awful color schemes most of them come in. Like if you
Red, white, yellow, and blue.
get rid of the crazy like clashy colors and just replace it with something simple and clean, and it looks super good.
I agree. I always thought that like the RX-78 and the G3 colors just makes the whole suit look completely different.
Oh yeah, totally. The I had a friend that really liked Seed and tried to get me to watch it, and I tried. I really tried. But the first time I saw one of the suits, it was all like in like slate gray and white, and I was like, "Oh man, this is such a cool color scheme. These look so good." And then they like turned it on, and it got into stupid color. I was like, "Damn it!"
The deactivated mode or whatever. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, it's like, apparently, if it's shut off, then it looks cool.
Can you not turn it on?
How about we just leave it off? You just kind of like bounce into each other like kids playing with toys. Like, that'd be cool. You'll look better doing it. So yeah, Brian, I messed around with your resin bits quite a bit this week.
I saw that. They're looking good.
This is awesome. No, don't do that. Okay. I appreciate that you want to speed up the internet, and that's awesome. I appreciate you letting me know, but please do not click on anything that says speed up your internet, okay?
I didn't click on it.
Good, very good. If you see something like that, please let me know. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Okay. Dad, there's a thing that speeds up your internet. Look, no!
It only wants our social to make it twice as fast.
She's so awesome. But I get it. I feel like any other kid would just click it. She's like, Dad, check this out.
That's good.
I haven't even thought about that. My son's first.
Yeah, I never got into it that much, but watching it with Nora made it fun. Like,
Right.
She gets super into it, and like she makes it fun to watch. So.
Yeah, I mean it's not my series picking out to watch, but if I have to, I'd rather watch that over whatever other crap he's watching.
Yeah, totally. It's not that bad. I mean, it's basically just watching sword art with Gundams, so it's you could do worse.
I love sword art. So I'm in.
Well, there you go. You're gonna love it. I mean, or be really frustrated that they ripped off your show or whatever. But either way, the material will not be unfamiliar.
Oh, you guys are talking about the high news. I have the only have the high new heavy weapon system for clear.
That is a mouthful. You just said
no colors for me.
Man, I see that. I feel like if I got one of those, I'd just paint it anyway.
I plan on painting it. I have a special plan for it.
FAR. Oh, are you doing the neon edge highlight, glow in the dark, fluorescent stuff? No.
No, I have something very artsy and painterly in mind.
Oh, the artsy. Yes. Got to flex that BFA.
You know what? Except I don't have a BFA. I dropped out.
Oh, what's that? Hell yeah! Dropout bros. What's up?
Come on, dude. Yeah, I went to college for what, 2.5 years or something like that.
I figured you would have finished.
Ooh.
All right. Well.
Oh, my bullshit detector went off real quick around there and was like,
Yeah. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah.
My inability to toe the line went off pretty early. Yeah. Just like, oh, you expect me to do things and I don't like them, so I'm leaving.
I have to read this.
The reading part wasn't so bad. It was just the whole
So through high school, I never opened a textbook. I don't.
For real?
I don't know how to study. I'm really good at if you lecture to me, I can pass anything.
Okay.
But
no, I'll give you that.
You make not going to school mandatory.
Yeah.
Like university is, that's really hard on me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you don't actually want to talk to me. Okay, cool. I'll just not go.
Yeah, that was showing up to class was one of my hardest things, especially for art classes. I'm just like, I'm just doing this at home anyway. Like, I got this.
That was great. I was great with my studio classes, always above and beyond.
Because I never left.
Triple A's in all my classes. I never stopped working, and I always did way more than I was supposed to. But when it came to the other classes, I just fell short. I should have went to an art college instead of gone to Iowa State, ultimately.
Yeah,
with an engineering and agricultural college with a strong architecture department.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you were into building things or comp sci, that place was the shit.
Right. And I had a great time in my physics class because I am a builder by nature. So
right.
I got all those. Yeah, that was all fine. And I could have
take it easy,
going.
Jeff.
Wasn't the right thing for me at the time. So
right.
Yeah. These fucking hands suck. What the hell?
Paul, what are you working on?
The Master Grade Turn A.
Oh,
rocking
cool.
a Sid Mead up in this bitch.
But these fucking fingers are the dumbest thing They have to pin together and then go in the hand.
Oh, I know that one. I'm
Just
familiar.
stay there.
Brian, what are you cooking? I forget. Sorry.
Master Grade Full Armor.
Oh, that's right. You started working on that. Sorry.
I am cranking right along. I made this base.
Hell yeah. Comes with a base.
Yeah.
That's classy.
A lot of them do. A kit that came with a lot of things that I didn't really expect. The regular UC AT guy, Master Grade AT guy.
Yeah.
Comes with a base, a bunch of water effects. It comes with 3 different figurines, 3 different minifigs, and
nice.
It comes with a triple set of the kids of Kika, Cats, and Let's.
Sweet.
Yeah, kind of funny.
I just want an AT guy. I never see those anywhere. I would totally build an AT guy.
Yeah, I got it at Anime NYC last year. I bought myself some presents.
Nice.
We need more AT guys.
I need to get at least one of these. So should have got 2, honestly.
I was already thinking about it before we talked the other night. I think I mentioned, and then, but yeah, especially after we talked the other night, even if it's not for competition or whatever, I would love to build some kind of Thunderbolt AT guy variant. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I can. I can get you scans of that imagery if you need it before you.
I would love that.
Before you can get or high quality photos or whatever before you,
awesome.
Or if you're not able to get the book straight away or whatever.
It's a crime that Bandai doesn't make more Thunderbolt stuff.
I'm surprised they don't. Anytime I bring it up, anybody that's seen it loves it. Anybody, and
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say I hate Thunderbolt. No. Or it's not something I like.
I've heard one person do it, but I expected it, so it's that's it. Everybody else is on board.
Team Their opinions are meaningless. No.
Yeah, I like her opinion.
It's Didn't like Thunderbolt.
I've actually recommended that show to people who don't even, like, don't care about Gundam, don't have any, and I think most of them are even like, oh, this is a badass series.
No, I'm right there with you. That's who it's for. It's like the modern 8th MS team, like the ones I always recommend to people that aren't Gundam fans or people that specifically don't like Gundam are 8th MS team, Thunderbolt, and Iron Blooded Orphans.
And Wing, obviously, right?
That one advertises itself enough. It doesn't need any help from me.
Never recommend Wing.
What's that?
You never recommend Wing.
Yeah, I don't think that is in any way like it's criminal that they started us with that. Hey, Sean.
I missed it, thankfully. That's why I never got into Gundam until Iron Blooded Orphans or whatever. It was
really?
The first series I watched like while it was airing was Iron Blooded Orphans.
Yeah.
And it's got a great dub, right, Jeff?
Jeff hates it. He's not around.
Jeff failed.
Sure.
The dub's not bad.
I think it's good too. And if you look up the cast, it's actually like for a Gundam series, it's probably their most accredited.
Yeah, it's stacked with good talent. The only thing yeah.
What up, Z?
The only thing that I don't like about the IBO dub is I feel like they made Carta really dumb.
Yeah,
because Carta didn't read as dumb to me in the Japanese version.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe like full of herself and snooty or whatever, but she's nobility, but like they just made her seem like a total dingbat in the dub. But that's the only bummer about it for me.
I just didn't like her.
Fair enough. Carta is my second best girl on that show. I don't know why. I love her.
Who's your first?
Laughter, obviously.
In that show? Julieta, man.
Oh my god. Oh, Phil, why?
She's so awesome.
I don't understand.
How do you hate Julieta? She's so awesome.
Is the fucking worst.
She's the most skilled pilot in the entire show.
No.
Yeah.
No, she
goes toe to toe with somebody in a maxed out Gundam with no limiter on it and lives and ties him up and gives him 1-4 on the way.
Didn't he get really fucked up by a bunch of other people at the same time as fighting her? So he was literally taking on an army.
That was toward the end.
Yeah, that was the end. They fight earlier on, and she does hold her
both
own.
times. She totally goes toe to toe with the dude, and she's only going on her own skill, no AV system, no nothing. Like she comes back at him later on in the Julia, and then she's got backup, which she's repeatedly ordering off of him, by the way. But they don't. But no, man, Julia totally holds her own. And in the end, when she has to do the thing she does in the end, she doesn't even want to do it because she's so awesome and knows this sucks.
Well, because it's dumb and she's fighting for the wrong reasons.
And she knows it because she's awesome, but she's still honor bound to do it because they raised her up from poverty.
At the very end, man. I wanna see all of those guys burn personally. So
yeah,
well,
I agree.
The only reason I like the end of that show is because it makes me so angry at the people that got it.
The whole point is Julia's the same as them. She's just the flip side of the coin. Like if they adopted her, the kids adopted each other. Like that's the only difference between them. She would have done exactly the same thing with the kids as she would have done.
Of course, yeah.
She would have been awesome no matter what she did. I respect awesome. And Z, most Gundam anime does suck. Yes, you're right.
I changed my mind. Z, you're so weird.
You still got to watch 8th MS Team, dude. Fumitan
Admos. Nice.
You got a thing for the austere, high hair and glasses thing.
Oh yeah.
I married a librarian, dude. It's cool. I'm
No, Laughter was cool.
Laughter was cool.
She could get it. I like the other lady too.
Ozzy, yeah.
Is that Nazir's?
Girl,
scar on her.
Well, that's Big Scar was our Armida.
She was cool.
Yeah.
I got to be real careful to get that right. That's a fight I don't want to be in. But yeah, Ozzy was the other pilot gal. She was super badass.
She lived, right?
She did. She was in pretty rough shape in the end of it emotionally, but she made it.
Of course.
Everybody was in rough shape at the end of that one. That was
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I love it, though, man. It's
I agree. It wasn't.
It didn't cheese out. It's like this is what happens when you.
And it never relied on. It never relied on space magic. Like it never got to the end where you were like,
no space magic.
I was waiting for it.
The future is too dark.
I was like, all right, here comes the space magic. Ready, go. No,
the closest equivalent. Like I do believe that if they pursue that series, there's probably like a new level of fusion with the suit that's possible or whatever, because nobody knows how to use the AV. But that's the closest a new anything else going to be.
I think it's going to be a prequel. Like I think if they were to go back, they would do the Calamity War because it's.
I want them to, but I don't think they will.
I think that's like an easy right. It's.
I mean, kind of, but like think about how, and I've discovered this through. I don't know if you've been seeing the stuff I've been working on here for the last couple of months. I've actually been running a Calamity War themed build along on Instagram, and I figured out. And part of the reason I did that was because I wanted them to make that show so bad that I was like, screw it, I'll give you material here. But like the thing that I've discovered through doing it is that all the ideas that people throw at it actually take away a lot of kind of magic from the idea. Like it actually kind of kills the vibe of it a little bit to fill in that gap. Like it's way more evocative as a shadowy history than it is as here's what happened,
Sure. Yeah. I think the problem though, if they do a sequel or something like that, unless it's just set in a completely different setting, is you kind of run into that same problem that like UC Gundam has where it just gets repetitive. Like how many times is the new type guy gonna, save the world before you stop fucking it up?
Yeah, I do think there's more room to explore. Like they did a pretty good job of building a decent amount of world between where they started and where they landed. Like all the colonies having their own culture. Like the idea that Earth is constantly up for grabs politically, pretty much like it is now. The whole space mafia and lots of different factions, pirates, merc outfits. Like there's lots of people to zero in on. But you're right, they'll have to avoid the whole like telling the same story with a different dude.
Yeah, well, and the part that is frustrating about UC sometimes is it's like 2 years later.
Right.
I mean, shit, you guys didn't even have enough time to weld in the bullet holes from the last time, and you're ready to go again, huh?
I guess they already did a side story in the mangas where it's like that's where like the Astaroth origin came from or whatever, where rather than like they just kind of followed different suits around. Yeah. Like wherever the suits wound up. Like we know that humanity got at least as far as Jupiter before the Calamity War, as far as settling everything went, but the settlement efforts stagnated hard after the Calamity War. So like all the outer territories are all total garbage for the most part, but those suits are still scattered all over the damn place. So like anybody that finds one has a story that they can have, it's just a question of
sure. You could always
shit they get into on account.
If you do like some OVAs, you can do like small, like it's not a big government thing. It's just, a small little territory type dispute or something like that.
And I like stories like that a lot more anyway, personally. Like the grand narrative thing is obviously necessary to run a 2-season show or whatever. But if you don't need it, you don't need it.
Yeah. Or you can do that kind of like story in a story, kind of like Thunderbolt. It's
totally
story going on like as the normal IBO is going on. You can have a little side thing.
Agreed.
That's true. What's to say that there isn't something else going on?
Right, yeah, like what's going on in Jupiter as IBO is going on.
Right.
Or parts of Earth for that matter, because we only get to see like Canada really.
Right. Or the other fucking side of Mars. Or
right. Yeah. That's one thing that always kind of bums me out in sci-fi is like they'll be like planet blank, and there you go. This is the whole planet. Like, dude, really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's the whole planet.
A movie that famously does that is Forbidden Planet.
I mean, every sci-fi movie does that. That's every sci-fi movie.
Yeah. Star
Here's
Wars,
planet
you only
desert.
get to see like one city in every planet.
Yeah, but that's like the entire planet every time.
Yeah. It's just desert.
Really? I feel like that's not true.
Why do people even live here?
This place is terrible. Let's see. I don't know why my camera always forgets its settings every time I turn it off for a second, but it does.
Z's got the hot takes.
Oh,
Always with the hot takes. See,
saying the next new Gundam anime will be
Gundam
versus COVID-19.
He's gonna have a face mask and some gloves on.
Clearly doesn't watch any Gundam IP because it's not. That ain't quite how that works. But
we're giving him the reality this time.
He's writing Monster of the Week Gunpla over there. Shows.
This Gundam
Gundam-
fitted with the
Gundam enemies are a
N95 respirator.
Shit, you know what? I think I misspoke, and I think that little fucking pod that I didn't build because I was being all pissy actually goes inside.
Oh, it does go inside. I just don't know if it's necessary. I feel like there's a core block
There
like
is
that you can sub for it.
sort of.
No, definitely, because when the you definitely need to build the core fighter, because when you open the hatch, you see the glass canopy of the core fighter. Yeah.
It's the core fighter. Shit.
I really don't understand the whole core technology thing. That was all like.
But if I had a
before
Gundam,
my
I would
time.
desperately want one.
I have one word. I have one word for you.
Yeah.
Toys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toys.
It doesn't make any damn sense, but I would want it.
You need the
I
and
see
you need
what
the
you did there.
hammer, and then you need the extra super like blaster fucking bazooka.
Super
crazy
blaster.
bazooka. You need the hyper bazooka. That's what it's called. And then you need the
Hyper mega launcher, hyper mega particle cannon.
Don't forget about the hyper crochet needles, and then the fucking.
Oh, we upgraded the hyper mega particle cannon. Let's call it the super hyper mega.
Ultra mega super cannon.
Like the water one where it's got like a big inner tube around it and ducky flipper feet and then like a fucking scuba thing. Yeah. Slap this on your shit. Just kidding.
Dude.
That was the Ninja Turtles I was spoofing on there. If anyone was alive for that.
I was alive.
I realized so was Paul.
I am eternal.
I am eternal. I am internal. All right.
This thing is so damn big. It's just different from how I normally do things.
Welcome to my world.
It makes it really hard to get it on camera.
Especially if you're working with my resin thing, because I've added, like half to 3/4 of an inch to the kit.
No, this thing is big. It is a big boy.
Yeah.
Tall, stretch it
Okay. So yeah, there's where we're at with that one.
I like what I've seen on the interwebs.
I'm pretty jazzed on it so far. I got to decide on how I'm going to do the armor. With like the arms, I got to like swap out some parts and make it less like, arm from this thing, arm from this thing. But I really like the like grenade launcher thing. I think I'm going to turn that into like a pile bunker. And
cool.
Over here, we've got like flexible wire launcher on this arm that I'm going to have a bunch of wire flying out of with maybe like some like SD Sazabi funnels on the end for like little hacker bits or something. Lots of antennas to make it feel like it's all like sensor packagey, hopefully.
Yeah, I really like the head. What is that? The Flaros head?
No, it's just the regular rebake head, and then I slapped on a bunch of bits from the HG Julia, and then the horn from the Gallbaldy rebake.
Oh, okay.
That diver's thing.
It almost looks the front horn almost looks like the tail from the Rex.
It does actually. It looks a lot like that, but no, it's just straight up the horn from the Gallbaldy rebake from Divers.
Very nice.
And a lot of Brian's resin bits, which, by the way, super fun to put together.
Thanks.
When I first started messing with this, I was putting everything on a Phil, on a Vidar frame, and they are keyed just a little bit differently from the old FM frame.
A later kit too.
Yeah, but I figured the frames would all be the same, but they're not. Just little differences, and they don't
Probably
fit onto that stuff. So
what, like the season 1 and season 2 frames?
I haven't got enough of them to know.
Actually, the original Barbatos 1/100, I don't think is actually labeled a full mechanics. I think it's just 1/100.
Right,
and
neither is the rebake.
Right, I think the Lupus was at the point where they started calling them full mechanics.
Yeah. They're visually pretty close to identical. The pistons on the full mechanics frames are a little skinnier, and some of the wires are a little bit more detail-y on the frames or whatever. But otherwise, they're like functionally identical. But the actual way that the connecting points on them is molded is different.
I think wasn't there a common complaint, especially with the original 1/100s, that it were a little floppy?
I know the Lupus Rex was, because I had it, but
I haven't built it. I built the Bale and the Lupus, and I didn't find them that floppy.
Yeah, I have the Lupus. It's not super floppy. I think the sword mace is just so heavy.
I just took that thing off. I did more cool stuff with the,
that was the shittiest of all the Barbatos. It's weird because the Lupus is my favorite Barbatos, but his weapon is the shittest of all of the Barbatos weapons. I like even the katana is better.
Yeah, I have the fifth form as well. So I got the big bazooka launcher, and I've got the katana, that go along with that.
I really like the bat mace. That's one of my favorites. I love that thing.
The second one from the Lupus Rex.
Yeah, it just looks like a baseball bat, basically. I'm pretty into it. But that's why I love that show, is just there's a copious amount of ass beating involved. So
yeah. No lasers.
I'm thinking of the one that comes with the Roe.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Or not?
No. I mean,
or something. I used it on my Roe. So.
Well, the Roe has the two shorter bats.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
But yeah, there's that one. It's like a combination between a sword and a mace. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but it's so bulky that it looks like a baseball bat.
Yeah, that's the sword mace, right?
Is that what they call it?
I think so, yeah.
Hey, Manny. Hey, Roosh.
They kept it simple.
Hey, Bill.
What is this? It looks like a big sword mace.
Yeah, sometimes I guess I overthink it, but...
What is this big fucking stick?
So actually, I got a question for you guys. So I'm converting these the full city subarm cases or whatever these are. I'm going to turn these things into hopefully to look kind of like EWAX packages, because that's what this thing was designed to be.
Okay.
And I'm thinking right now, actually, it's cool that Bill showed up because he had a suggestion on my stream too. I want to make these things look like big EWAX pods that just kind of stick off the back of the suit like this.
Right.
And I need to extend the ball joints to give myself room to do that. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So much glare in here. I need to extend these so that I can do that, but that'll also give me a little bit of ground on this kind of ledge here to give it some weight support and glue that down too.
Sure.
but I can't decide if I want to keep the kind of like wing shape assembly on there
You're
and
missing 2 components still from that assembly.
What's that?
So you're missing a couple of components from that assembly. But
The sub arm and what else?
well, the subarm should come. That's the one that should come with the actual Gusian.
Right, I've got it.
Yeah, so those
I just took it out.
Yeah, they plug into that, and then it's
Right.
you're missing the outer. There's an outer shield that goes over that wing,
Right.
on the outside that I didn't.
But I
have
actually
that.
kind of like this way because I think it looks more like an EWAX pod.
Cool, as
But
long as you like it, that's all that
I know
really
what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But in order to make it look more like that,
Sure.
what do you guys suggest? Because Bill suggested putting like some like I don't know, like sensor dishes or something on the inside of here instead of thrusters.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't decide if I want to do like a big bank of thrusters in here to make this thing look super fast, which it needs to be.
Right.
And with that wing extended, there are like these vents back here that kind of give that impression too. Or if I want to like completely keep this thing closed up and try to describe the EWAX roll with the outside shape of it somehow. And I'm not sure which direction to go with it.
I would say you could add like antennae and radar aspects to that outer casing. Maybe instead of doing like a bunch of like bulky boosters inside there, do like a strip of smaller.
Okay.
Like 6 or 8.
I think the boosters that you'd have to like look up in there to see, like they wouldn't stick too much out of the casing.
Right.
Would like a couple of recessed, like 3, let's say smaller ones would look.
Right. I was thinking
that was along the lines of what I was thinking. I'm just
because you think if you have those big UAC units on the back, they would have some way to help push them along. Like they're going to have a little thrust to them. But I don't know.
The question that if I'm talking about doing thrusters, then is putting them inside of these things even a good idea? Because like, is that going to take away from the idea of them being EWAX pods? Should I mount thrusters elsewhere? Like, it seems like a natural enough spot to put them, but I want to make sure that I'm not like visually confusing what they're supposed to be by doing that.
No, I don't think that you would necessarily be doing that. Like if you look at the backpacks on a lot of the gyms that are like that, they have they have thrusters on the radar parts.
Okay.
Because they got it. Like I said, they're heavy. They got to move them somehow. Right. And you don't want the whole suit to be carrying around this lug of shit in the back. You want to have a little bit of push to it. So,
okay.
I think as long as you don't go crazy with it.
I want it to look like the bulk of that shape is taken up on those sensor suites, but putting thrusters on it just kind of seems visually necessary to make this thing not look like a slowpoke.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you did like almost like cooling fins on the inside.
Oh yeah.
And then you really couldn't tell they might be somewhat thrusting or they might be cooling. That's just an option.
No, that's cool too. But yeah, no matter what, I need to extend these joints so that I can get them to go straight back because I think it looks way more like EWAX-y that way.
Do this trick, Phil. Get these guys.
Oh yeah.
You have these saved up yet?
I mean, I'm sure I've got like 10 of them downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, you should save these.
Okay.
You can stack them. Have many.
Oh, Bill's got his idea here refined. Outer side of it to open up, revealing a dish for like focusing. Yeah, that could work. Hey, what's up, Mikkel?
So these are all like a regular shape. If you put those with here, I'll just use some of these smaller ones as spacers.
Open up. Yeah, Bill, I think we're on the same page there. That sounds kind of like what we've been talking about here. I think that's that was why I wanted to say that you'd come up with that. So I think that's cool.
All right,
I will steal it from you with your kind permission. Oh, thanks, Mikkel. Honestly, I can't take too much credit for it at this point. Most of it's just Brian's parts. So I made a cool head for it, but the rest of this is all Brian bits.
You can make you can like stack those guys up and you get like some repeated, do some like edging. Do some edge work, but you can flip them too because of the because they are like this.
That's Brian. What you have there is exactly what I was thinking. Like
pretty clever, actually. Nice.
Yeah, and I've done that. Like I did that on the our roadie build off. I did that inside some of the like goosey and half clamshell parts or half shell parts. I did that and then just like made a crazy thing. I actually have a section of it here.
Let's see.
And cut it. Make a lot of crazy things. And then cut them up.
Wow.
Sure, everybody has one of these. Here you go. One of these.
I've always got all my cameras and lights and shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like so, and that's just the cast off part. So there was a much more detailed part. This is the garbage end of it.
Okay.
There's a much more part that they got plugged up into. This was the decking.
Right on, Bill. Thanks again for your advice, Bill. I appreciate it earlier and now. What you got?
This is the decking for my Kotobukiya, like whatever the fuck that thing was. I made that like diesel pump themed thing. This is
KotoKai.
Yeah, exactly, KotoKai. This is what I use for the decking on the platforms that came off the fronts of the legs.
Nice.
That had like ladders up the sides so that the military guys up there.
Yep.
Gotta finish that
like
one these days.
I would like to see it.
I would like to finish it.
Yeah,
I'm busy doing those things.
God damn it. Why do they need to attach like that?
Save your pride class. Sid Mead. That's why.
I'm not blaming it on him. They could have done this differently.
R.I.P. Mr. Mead. We're sorry.
Miguel, I needed he says, what am I working on? I needed to have something to snap on while because I got all these other projects I'm painting right now. I've got the SD Neo Xeon is in that primer phase, so everything is looking real tasty and clean. I just went through and did the second round of sanding, 1500 grit to get it nice and smooth. I'll add another layer of primer or two and keep sanding them down so that it's nice and glossy. I'm gonna do a real nice paint job on that bad boy.
It's gonna look real nice.
I got the I got the Luna Maria Zaku Warrior 2 that I added an entire inch to the height on. I found out the other day. It is looking fine.
That's a big that was a big height boost. I was surprised how far you got out of that without having it look goofy.
Yeah, it doesn't look fucked up at all. It looks really good.
No, it doesn't.
I put a little riser in the ankle too because those feet are like so crushed up inside the lower leg armor, like gives it a little bit of
right.
I've got the I gotta start painting this, the Violent Monster. I just gotta whip up some hands and paint that guy up for the Violent build off. And so I got all these other projects that are so far along. I needed something fresh to build. So I asked Colleen to pick something out of the backlog, and she went with the littlest kit in the backlog. The full armor system.
No inconvenience at all.
Needs more shields. Needs more shields on it.
I like shields, honestly. That's what draws me.
I do too. That's what makes it cool. Otherwise, it's just a Gundam,
So
needs more, fuel tanks and shields and shit on it, and then you're good to go.
Absolutely. And Mav,
do those things have space bags?
It is. What is it?
Do those things have space bags?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes, they do.
Space bags for everybody.
I'm good with space bags. I've got a lot of experience with them from building models over the years, but I won't be using those space bags.
Do you make your own?
Yeah, I'll probably be using nitrile.
Okay.
Yeah, because that works pretty well. You just use
like a glove.
Do you wrap the surface with anything before you do that, or do you just okay?
Yeah, you just cut it in a couple spots and then
keep it a little loose.
In there. Yeah, exactly. It makes a bag out of it. I'm making some smaller ones for when it comes to it, but I'll probably end up painting this thing, so I won't be putting those on until final phase.
Okay.
I could make them out of leather too if I really wanted to, but I don't know.
I made some out of I wire wrapped a surface and then wrapped some Teflon tape around it, and that looked pretty convincing. And it gave me a paintable surface because it was taut, so I could then I could prime it and paint it. So
like normal. Yeah, I thought about doing some sculpting too and giving it more of like what the
I mean you could totally do that.
Yeah, like the Zaku Big Gun has for that sculpted in detail. If I got into a pose I wanted to keep it in or something, and just like freeze it with some putty.
Good call.
I need.
Good call.
But yeah, I got nothing but time on my hands right now, so I got a lot of projects going.
Yeah, I need to slow down on the projects, but that's
Well, you need to finish the projects, is what it is.
well. I'm nearly there on all of them.
I see a pattern.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I finished a ton of shit last month. I'm doing good this year.
It's razzing me a little bit.
This year I'm doing good. Any other year you'd have me cold. This year is coming up Millhouse.
Everything's coming up.
Julio, what up?
Julio.
Julio, you two have been telling me shit, man.
What I need to learn to do is a flowing flag.
Who says that?
Some Samosa.
Miguel.
We have multiple approaches to that.
Yeah. I did some of those.
Brian should do his first because he won awards with his, and that I'll tell you mine if you really want to know.
Wow, did this come off? Okay, phew. I was like, did these come off anymore?
That's a cool one with like it wasn't for a flag, it was actually for like a tarp. Someone used like paper towel, water, and I think maybe a little bit of white glue.
Yep.
I thought that came out pretty damn good. I don't know how well it would work with a flowing flag. You'd probably have to put something under it.
Yeah.
Flowing, to, like get
you
it
do
to
it with like wire.
Yeah.
That's like a tank tarp effect.
Yes. Yeah. I saw someone do a really cool, like the RX-78 laying down.
Yeah.
And it had the tarp over it. It was really cool.
Steal the layout. So these I did actually on live stream mechanism. They're made out of this stuff called what is that stuff called?
Was that the thermoplastic stuff?
Yeah, it's thermoplastic stuff. I've got the header for it right here. I had it just ready just the other day. It like fell out of the heavens. It's right here. Aha! It is called Zebra.
That looks.
I got a sheet of it for $7.64.
That is fancy.
And here you go. Basically, it looks like this. It's just this like grayish or tannish. You see, I drew on it there with the water soluble pencil. Just like piece of styrene stock. It looks like, but it's thermoplastic. You can heat it up with water and get it a little bit movable, or you can like heat it up with a hair dryer and make it really, really movable and get you can sculpt it, and then as it cools, it freezes in its shape. And I just did these for like, these are the pauldrons for the flea, and they're just like they go on the opposite sides, so that looks kind of like the wind is blowing through the fabric.
Did you feel like that like caught surface impressions too much when you were working on it? Like, did it grab fingerprints? Did it grab anything else?
There is a bit of a fingerprinting here, but I actually used that to my benefit, and I went back and I touched on it with a piece of coarse denim. I had some like 24-ounce denim cast off, and I heated up, and then I
gave it some fabric.
Yeah, I gave it a fabric like texture
stamp
to it.
I love it.
Worked out pretty good. And then after it's hard,
great.
you can sand it. If you don't really like it, you can heat it up again and manipulate it more. After a while, it does become like a lump of nothing. But that's what I use. I like it. I'm going to be using that for doing some cloth effects on the Death Zaku Warrior custom. But I got a lot of work to do. I still got to build a horse and stuff like that. So
yeah, got to make a mecha horse from scratch. No big deal. In 1/100th.
No inconvenience at all.
Actually, extra size 100 because I made the kit big. So
yeah, so big 1/100th full scratch mecha horse.
I like to call it 1/100 or like Master Grade Plus. That's what I like to call it.
I've almost done that so many times, like specifically the horse. I've almost made a big horse so many times and then just finally stopped myself and been like, what? Stop.
I'm not going to make the full horse.
Like a tiny horse.
Okay.
Like a miniature pony.
You're going to make little Sebastian for Death to ride around? Oh, that'd be awesome.
No.
God, I would love that. I would love it so much if you did that.
I'm sorry.
Another way to make banners and flags. Brian's is actually super cool and straightforward, and I really like that, and I actually want to try it. The one thing I don't like about it is the short working time that you get from heating up thermoplastic. So really that's the only place where the way that I've done it in the past has an advantage. Like every other aspect of working with that type of thing, I think Brian's material is actually better for it. But in case you want some extra time to work the shape and make it really the way you want to, you can get some 2-part epoxy putty and a little bit of aluminum foil and lay the foil out flat, press out the putty really, really well into a nice flat shape. It doesn't have to be exactly the shape of what you're going to use, but the closer you can get to it, the better. Just press it out, make sure it's nice and smooth. Put a little bit of olive oil on, just like on the very tip of your finger, just work it into the surface of the putty a little bit, and then grab another piece of aluminum foil and make a putty sandwich. And take your time and kind of burnish the surface of the putty. That'll make everything nice and smooth in there. It'll get rid of any fingerprints you might have left behind. And you can at that point kind of kink the putty a little bit in different spots to get a really like kind of wrinkly texture on the material inside. I don't recommend it. I think you're usually better off going smooth for that look, but it's your call. Do whatever you like with it. But the cool thing about having the putty in there is you get the entire working time of the putty, which for most of the time is somewhere in the neighborhood of like an hour and a half, 2 hours, to really kind of play around with the shapes and like making like bendy curves and wind swoops and stuff in it to kind of make the fabric a little bit more dynamic, so that it's not just like a flat hunk of whatever. And if you're handling it carefully, then the foil doesn't kink it, so you get those nice smooth flows and curves. Go ahead and just let it dry all the way once you've got it in a shape that you like. I do recommend giving it the full 24 hours on that one, just because you made it so thin. But after it comes out, then you can cut it to the exact shape that you want or whatever if you didn't quite get it when you were pressing it in there, and you've got a super nice flowy shape that you got to work the whole time. But again, the sole advantage of doing it that way is the ability to use the whole working time of the putty as opposed to the short working time of the thermoplastic. Otherwise, I think the thermoplastic's actually a better call. So.
And then you preheat your oven.
Yeah.
350 degrees.
You make a pizza and try to forget anything you just did.
You can make it out of Super Sculpey.
Or the Super Sculpey.
Yeah.
You buy a G.I. Joe with a flag.
Take the flag.
Run a heat gun over the flag and make it look a little bendy. Paint your Xeon guy on there and you go to war. That's what you do.
With every other Gundam modeler, you go to war.
Even your friends.
I don't even know where you can find a G.I. Joe. I mean,
the internet.
Yeah. It's probably more expensive than the Gundam.
And I didn't realize there was like a whole scene around that.
Oh, the G.I. Joe collectors? Yeah, dude.
No, like the modders. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
Like I'd seen like Megos or Migos or whatever they're called. Like I'd seen that, but like I didn't realize there was like a whole world of dudes buying G.I. Joes and chopping them up and making custom dudes out of them.
I didn't know until you just told me that, so I'm gonna have to look it up.
It's pretty wild.
I've seen that with like Hot Wheels cars. They like drill out the rivet that holds it together and paint them and everything. I didn't know that was a thing either.
I have done that for I make like Mad Max conversions sometimes for fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, my son like is obsessed with Hot Wheels cars, and he was watching a YouTube video the other day of them customizing them. You know,
right.
Like,
yeah, some of them are like super hardcore about it. Like I just beat mine to shit because they look neat. Like there are dudes that are making like scale accurate rims and shit for those things. I'm like, are you kidding?
Yeah, Redline restorations, making them as close to the mint as possible.
Yeah, pretty wild.
It's all good. Hey, no hobby makes sense, right?
No. I'm not like clowning anybody. I'm just like, it's one of those things where I'm just like, dude, you've got like rubber wheels with like aluminum rims on your Hot Wheels, dude.
They sell cloth for masks. You can take them apart and mix parts with cutting anything. Did it as a kid. Cool.
Yeah.
So bust
Yeah,
out the old
I've
GI.
only ever popped out the rivet, but
I have unimaginable amount of Hot Wheels cars in my house. So
they are fun to chew up. Like I don't know about the fancy pantsy stuff or whatever, but like, you know, they're fun to make look like they're all rusty and beat up.
Oh yeah.
and how could you go wrong with 99 cents?
Yeah, right. It's the cheapest hobby fun you're like to have. And some of them are really cool. Like you can find like old like coupes and roadsters and stuff that look pretty slick when you mess them up.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I've done, I just kind of followed Fury Road rules and painted them silver like they'd been buffed, and then just like weathered the shit out of them. Look kind of fun. Made little bang sticks out of like brass rod and styrene tube and thread. Grab
Bill's
rails out of tube and stuff.
Bill saying he used to fuck up his GI Joes.
Oh, the GI Joes. Okay, got it.
And
Got it.
yeah, swap parts. I remember those rubber bands.
Yeah.
Oh, we all tried to make helicopters out of our dudes.
I remember the G1 Ninja Turtles with the soft heads.
Yes.
Yeah, those were awesome.
Yeah.
Super duper brittle plastic. The arms would always break because they were just like tight fit, and it was just not made. Not made
those
for
Playmates dolls were crap. That's true.
Yeah. That's what they were, $4 a piece or something. Come on, it's a lot of plastic for $4. So.
Didn't somebody else take that over? I think Kenner took it over, didn't they?
I wouldn't be surprised. Kenner is
it
one
started
of the,
as Playmates.
Yeah, Kenner's one of the
biggies.
Yeah, the biggies.
I can't remember. Maybe they hung on to it. I don't know. I know there's an episode about him on Toys That Made Us or something.
Made Us, yeah.
I watch it sometimes. I can't get into it that much, but some of it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's background noise for me.
Yeah.
Somewhere I have Ninja Turtles, a handful of them. Not many.
Really?
But a bunch of obscure ones.
I had a crap ton of old Transformers, and my son's been playing with them. They're at my mom's house, like tucked away in a closet somewhere. And I went over the other day. I was like, "Hey, where the hell did you get that?" They're beat to shit now. He had his way with them.
Gotcha. Well,
he enjoyed them. Whatever.
It's true. What are you supposed to do? Oh, I have to clean all this up. Oh, Bandai, why? I can't hear Nora. Or Phil turned the sound on his end.
Oi!
The giant G.I. Joe figures.
Oh, I had some of those, like the Barbie doll style ones.
The first ones were huge. Like the first ones, they were gigantic.
Sorry, fellas. She was going on a story time there for a minute. I figured I'd spare you.
All good, man.
It's cool.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, man. Cops. I forgot about those. Oh, the dude that had the machine guns that popped out of his chest. I remember that game.
You guys watch what's it fucking called? Is it not Awesome Toys? What is it called? I think it is called Awesome Toys. Hang on. Let me look at it.
I don't know about that one, Bill.
Interesting. Wait.
All right, let's move stuff around here.
No, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of something different. Oh, that was a great story I told.
Pretty cool.
Cool story, Brian. Tell it again.
Parts.
One arm in there. I had the blonde guy and some girl.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
What's up now?
Fabulous.
Why is this so fucking glary? It's crazy. I've got all my lights tuned to like Instagram needs, and when I get actual cameras on everything, it just turns into a giant glary mess. I'm looking forward to not messing with Instagram streaming anymore.
Oh, are you taking a break or what's up?
But I'm working on an actual stream with Goalie, one of the other dudes from Texas
Right.
show.
That's right. I remember seeing something about this.
And I'm super excited about it, but it's definitely taken a minute to get the ideas nailed down for it.
Toy Galaxy is what I'm thinking of. You guys ever watch the channel Toy Galaxy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't think I.
It is very good. The guy does like, we'll say a retrospective. He gets like toy hauls in from like he goes around to just whatever and like flea markets and stuff and like picks up stuff. People send him stuff and he talks about stuff. He gets like old Transformers and G.I. Joe and Gunpla. He's got a hugest Boba Fett collection, like all this cool stuff. He just talks about toys, and then he like does like talks about like old television shows and shit that were in the past. He did something on the Sectars not too long ago. If you remember Sectars, I loved Sectars.
I don't know if I remember that.
Has a great history of Max Headroom, which was really, really good. You know, just histories of the GoBots, histories of different, you know, the history of the Defenders of the Earth, vintage Robotech stuff, whatever, everything all over the place. And puts out videos like literally every week or twice a week sometimes. So
that's awesome.
Check it out. Yeah, good stuff. I like put it on the background. I spend a lot of time in front of the television until sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm the same way. I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna start talking about this, and here we go.
Get ready for another visit from Chester from Syphilis. hey guys. Hey. Here are the squirrels on the roof, right?
You guys hear that too?
They have their fax machines.
You had it right, Phil. Brian and Paul had it mixed up with the Barbie, like dolls. That's what I remember those. Like the big. I had a couple of those as a kid.
I'm thinking of the giant G.I. Joes.
Yeah. I had the Star Wars big ones that were like Barbie dolls too. I had like Han Solo on. I still have it.
Oh yeah,
in the box. Han Solo on Tauntaun and
the big 12 inches or whatever.
Yeah.
But you were the
those were cool.
Envy of all the. Oh no! What are those little fucking? Oh thank God! When they give me a piece that's like. You can't even...
Are you just messing with me, KotoKai?
There you can see the shadow of it passing in front of the sun.
I see what you're doing, KotoKai, and I don't like it.
And they put these little boosters that are supposed to go on the outside of this little stupid core fighter that I didn't want to make anyway.
Core fighters are stupid. Why do it? Ah!
I'd still want a core fighter though.
This tiny ass little red detail. That's the little tiny piece that I was worried about losing. As you can see, that is.
It's just like that's the most like Japanese robot thing you can have. Is like, okay, I got this giant fighty robot.
What are we
And
gonna
it's got a jet plane that lives in its belly. Like, really, guys?
Super cool, dude. That's super cool.
Super cool.
That's just super cool.
I just watched, what was that recently? Gurren Lagann.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
No, I mean, that's what you're supposed to ask. And in that show, that I'm totally 100% down with that. Like, let's get weird, you know? But like on any other one, I'm just kind of like, come on, man. Like, why'd you do that? That one and Gridman.
Yeah.
Gridman.
I was like, what the? It's like Power Rangers meets
Yeah.
Gundam. I was like, what the fuck?
But like a really self-aware version of it. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, let's get stupid. You clearly know what you're talking. You know what you're talking about. It's like hanging out with a guy that really knows the genre, that's making the jokes that are still funny, even though you don't know it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's do that.
It just works. That's all right.
Yeah, well, I watched that like a month ago, Gurren Lagann, and I was like, so it's a head robot with a drill.
Yeah. That show rules so hard.
Where are the fucking toys?
It's like Pete Gynax that's also like really aware that it's Pete Gynax. I love that show. It's like the things that you would ordinarily be annoyed at Gynax for doing, only it's hilarious because they totally get it.
Yeah. People are gonna think this is stupid.
How dumb can I make? Okay, go. I love it.
Yeah, I watched it because I loved Darling in the Franxx, and it's the same.
Oh, really?
Creators, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met anybody that has said that combination of words in that order.
I love Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, Paul.
Like did you see the entire show?
Yes, I know it went off the rails at the end there, but
I appreciate madness. Don't get it twisted. But
especially the first like 18 episodes before they went into that.
I got a little
I think I made it.
Honestly, I got a little creeped out.
Minutes of the first episode.
No, I mean it's got redeeming features beyond that, and like really, I was cool up until like we had to get into like teenage butt sex positions to pile up the neck, and then I was kind of like, whoa.
Well, you could have. They called them pistols and stamens.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, really, Gynax, we get it. We picking up what you're putting down, gang.
No, it's flowers, guys.
I was just like, holy shit. But
I wonder if they thought it was funny. They were like, they'll never get it.
No, yeah, you weren't being all that subtle, Japan, ever. But that started creeping me out. I couldn't really watch it too much past that, and then the
robot ending or the alien ending.
Yeah, I just watched ahead to the end real quick just to be like, all right, whatever. I just need to know how this finishes so I don't sound stupid later. And lo and behold, I was just like, what the fuck happened?
You definitely can tell they love themselves some Evangelion.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's Gynax.
Paul likes the cockpit and obsessed.
That's right.
Yeah. But
Pink hair girl.
It's Travis. What's up, Travis? Cast.
It was a neat concept. I did not hate the concept.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a drinky poo.
Me too.
I'll be back arena.
And by that I mean I'm just gonna reach over here.
Yeah.
All right. Turn A has arms.
Sweet.
Which are strange. His shoulders are super strange.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any part of that suit that isn't a little weird. Like I love me some Sid, but that is a weird design.
I haven't figured it out yet, at least. I haven't found the part that's not weird. I mean, he's got a cockpit, like literally.
Yeah, he does. I've been building a lot of Jinxes lately, so they've got one too. It's
Do they?
Yeah.
So ironically, my camera is mounted on a Jinx box right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the big the big like sticky outy pelvic assembly thing.
Oh yeah.
The part of it that's shaped like a dick is where the pilot lives.
I just built the Deep Striker.
Uh-huh.
Dude's got a giant donger.
There you go.
Like the only thing that dwarfs his donger is his cannon.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, that's why anytime I start to build the Nightingale, I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Where are we going with this one, guys?
What's going to make this design better? How about a big dick?
Like, it'd be one thing if it like balanced anything or whatever. This was like, wham, there it is. You're like, whoa. But if you cut it off, it looks weird. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this exactly?
Sean says, "I'm back. What did I miss?" Nothing.
We discussed the finer points of Gurren Lagann, Darling and the Franks, and Dicks on Robots.
And butt sex pilot positions.
Yep.
But that was definitely.
Well, we don't know. The goal was to have kids, so it probably wasn't butt sex.
True. Either way,
it was odd.
Frank's is it's not my show. But there was a lot to like about it. It's true.
Yeah, but it's made by Gurren Lagann people.
I liked what was it? I liked Edo on Netflix.
I haven't watched that one. I just watched Castlevania the other day.
Oh yeah,
I need to get back into that.
I really like that
the
show.
first go around, like the first season or whatever.
I saw the first season. It was really good.
Yeah, and I thought it was really good, and then I went back and tried to watch it again, and I didn't think it was very good for some reason. I don't know why.
I
Might have been
just,
a mood.
I guess this is season 3, but they're short. I think they're 10 episodes.
Like 3 episodes or something, right? Yeah.
The first season was like 6, I want to say, and I think 2 and 3 were 10 each.
Oh, okay. So, my bad.
I quite liked it. It's been I'm home all weekend, so it's what kind of anime is laying around?
Here you go.
I checked out Demon Slayer. That was pretty good.
Oh, I really liked that.
I was surprised at how much I liked it. It was
Yeah.
good.
The action was awesome. The story was awesome. Music was good.
Yeah, it had super good music, and I was really surprised because like normally that whole like chess game mental thing where it's like you're doing this, so I need to do this. Normally that shit really bums me out in cartoons, but in this case, I thought it was really cleverly done, and I love that. The entire episode of planning out the fight or whatever gets replayed at the beginning of the next episode in like 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm,
I think that's rad.
Yeah, that was a like I didn't expect much of that. I thought it I don't know what I was going in thinking. I was thinking it was going to be like shown in each episode. You weren't going to have to watch the episode before to get what was going on. It was just going to be like, oh, which bad guy do I fight this week? And that wasn't at all.
Yeah, that was one of those where like all the people that were recommending it are the people that normally like cartoons I don't like at all.
Yeah, that's what they were like. If you like Dragon Ball, you'll love. And I was like, oh.
I don't really, but I liked watching it with my roommates when we were all high and throwing quarters at each other.
Mostly pennies.
Okay, pennies.
Those were the days, though, weren't they, Phil?
That was the time when Dragon Ball was entertained. The only time that Dragon Ball was entertaining.
We had our different stances. Joe had fucking dragon stance and tiger stance.
Oh, you guys got way farther into that shit than I did. I can barely throw a penny stance.
Oh, dude, yeah, just the snaps. Just like where you point your elbow, just hold your penny by your ear, point your elbow, wherever you drop your elbow and snap is where the penny's gonna fly.
No, it was fucking madness. I couldn't believe how hard you guys got those things to go.
I had so much ceramics and stuff that I had made, artwork and sculpture, that it all got smashed up from those penny wars.
Welts on everybody. Like you could, it was like listening to bullets fly by. It was fucking crazy.
A quarter was nuts because that thing would be like, yeah,
getting buzzed by an airplane.
It was all fun and games until Joe was able to break the skin.
Yup.
and then we had to stop.
And that's how you know that you're just too high. Like we were actually turning penny snapping into kung fu.
It was Blair. You remember Blair?
Yup.
Yeah, Joe. Like Blair was just sitting there talking. They were talking about basketball or something, and Joe just like picked up a penny, went and hit him in the forehead, and fucking
Just
split the skin on his
Blood everywhere because head wound. It was fucking amazing.
forehead.
Blair was a bitch anyway. That was fucking awesome.
That sounds like an anime right there. Like,
Honestly, that was kind of our living room. So
It really was. It was the living room.
there you go.
The place was huge though. We had those downstairs with those like 3 big rooms with the kitchen and the bedroom down there. But those 3 rooms were like 20 plus by 20 plus. They were huge with like 11-foot ceilings. An old like Victorian style house in Iowa.
It was cool.
It was cool. It was cool for a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, cool.
yeah, Brian, if you get around to it,
Yeah.
watch Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. I enjoyed it.
On the Flicks or the Hulu, or do I gotta like go and get it on some?
It's on. I think it's on Hulu.
Yeah, I think it's on Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
I don't know if they make a dub of it. I've only watched the sub.
I'm pretty sure I watched it as a dub actually.
Did you?
I think it
was.
maybe I don't know. Maybe I didn't.
It's got like the first episode's pretty tragic right off the bat, so I was in.
Yeah, it's intense.
Nice. I'm into it. I was watching God Eater? Was that one? I started watching that.
God Eater.
I don't think I know that one.
Well,
it
the
sounds familiar, but
new season of everything's just about to start.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like this is like the new, I don't like the spring
Whatever
season. I don't even know. I just watched what did I just Tower of God or something like that?
I don't think I know that one.
I don't know that one.
It's actually what is that called? I forget what they're called. The Korean comics.
Okay.
It's based on one of those. So I don't know if I've ever watched an anime based on a Korean comic. So it's different. It's dubbed, so they do have a dub version. I know.
I thought I watched it as a dub.
Sweet.
I'm not like a whatchamacallit, like a snob, but I tend to watch things in subtitles.
If I can just watch it, I usually go for sub first. But if I can only like be passively watching it or listening to it or whatever, I gotta go the other way.
It depends on the genre too. Like if I'm like action stuff, I'm fine watching it in dub. But like dramatic or comedy, I like watching in subtitles.
Yeah.
I feel like you lose some of like the
nuance
translation. Yeah, like especially Japanese like comedy is pretty sarcastic. I don't think that Americans are sarcastic enough, but it really doesn't play very well.
Those people are assholes.
Yeah.
So. No, I don't know. The dubs have gotten so much better in recent years. Like I remember, like when I first started watching these things, like dub was like synonymous with bunk translation.
Yeah,
but like they're so good now for the most part. Like I'm with you. Like I'm kind of like preconditioned to want the original language just because I like watching any foreign language movie in its original language. But for me, that's usually just like when you're looking at an actor and you see their mouth move and whatever, like their voice is supposed to sound a certain way and you can tell when it's not theirs,
Right.
But with cartoons, it's not that big of a deal. But either way, the dubs don't bother me as much anymore as they used to. That's for damn sure.
No, it's for like all of them I watched dub and I thought they were fun. I don't think I had any problem. IBO, I've watched both because when I was watching it, like as it was going on, they didn't have the dub available yet. But then I went back and watched it dub.
Yeah, I'll occasionally watch the original language version of it because I like the series.
I think the dub was actually easier to understand in IBO. Like the whole calamity over thing and everything was like way more
I must have seen. I want to say I probably watched IBO easily in its entirety a dozen times.
I don't even want to think how many times I've watched that.
Exactly. Like I don't even need to. I can just listen to the Japanese and know exactly what's
right
because I've seen it all.
Just from the anglicization, you're just like
every component in the full city in my head in 3D. I can picture it.
I believe that.
All the parts, probably.
I mean it, dude. Like I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass on this because that's not really my style, even if we're buddies. Like I was really, really impressed with how well the resin conversion parts here fit on to the original kit pieces.
Well,
like it's really, really smooth.
You're making me want to go to make an emergency trip over to my metal shop to pick up my pressure caster and my pack of 20-something molds.
Yeah, dude, I want you to make an emergency trip to actually
come back home because I'm not going to burn out.
Reproduce these.
Well, I have the molds. I just got to do it.
Yeah, you need to do some and sell these because they're really good.
Here's the thing: you make something, right, and you can be proud of it and you can work it. But when you like go to try and make it and turn it over to somebody else, I had the same problem with my props. It's like I have a very, very high standard.
I understand. And I appreciate that when you're giving it away, it takes some of that pressure off, and that's cool. And I am very happy to be the recipient of that. But in this particular case, I would have, if I'd known how nice this felt putting it together, I would have happily paid for it.
Cuisine remake, says Z. Perfect.
I cannot glue this together if you want. Z, I can send it to you. I can send it back. You can build it however you want it.
There are more. You can buy more. But yeah, cool. I'm glad that it's working out well, and it makes me feel confident that I can just like make them and sell them without having to worry about too much.
Yeah, no, I mean some of it obviously, like some of the casting was a little flashy and stuff, but like other than that, like anything that matters on this thing is smooth.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of it's all just standard resin fix stuff.
I wouldn't sell it for a lot of money. That's not what it's about.
Okay, I'm not trying to tell you your price point. I'm trying to tell you that people should build this because it's fucking cool.
Sure, that's the thing that inhibits people from wanting to pick something up and try it a lot is the price point on it. But
right,
if it's like baby's first resin kit and it's easy to put together, but you got to clean it up a little bit more and work on your file discipline, that's not necessarily a bad thing in my book.
No, I don't hate it. Like if I was going to be paying like actual money for it, I would expect cleaner casting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only complaint, and it's not. It doesn't feel like a worthy complaint because it was free. You know.
Yep. I mean, I made those molds right here at my workbench in my house. So
no, and that's awesome. Like I think it's
great. I have infinite dimension kits and there's flash on them. Like.
Yeah, it's not the same. There's pretty minor.
I have not.
There's some chunks and unevenness and stuff. I mean, it's all just standard garage kit stuff. But
yeah, it's garage kit is why it's.
But I mean, people buy from what the hell? E2046. I mean, people spend a lot of money on some of those things, and
it's just a mess.
Yeah, I mean, E2046.
I'm not familiar with it. Like
they're a resin company. They sell like a little bit of everything.
I'm familiar with the resin company. I'm just not familiar with the quality of work.
It's all mixed reviews. Like, but you also, I will say that when you hear reviews, like it really depends on who's building it. You know, someone who's built a lot of resin stuff is like, oh yeah, it's fine. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to sand it. And then someone who, you know, it's their first thing. They're like, what the hell is this? This does not look like a Gundam. It does not look like Bandai plastic. So I think it's just expectation, you know, like.
Mm-hmm. All the stuff I've seen from BKM is like way cleaner than the stuff I've seen.
Oh, yeah. But it's also like, what's typically, like, what if you were to buy, let's say, just a figure or a 1144 Gundam, let's just say, you know, what's the price in E2046 versus GKM?
No, I mean it's definitely a little bit less expensive, but a lot of times the E2046 is like tie recasts of recasts of recasts of
Oh,
recasts.
yeah.
Like, it's like complete
Or they're
bunk.
like really small, this guy made
Right.
like 3 of them.
But GKM has like figures of the same rarity or whatever, but like GKM's usually like the guy made the thing at Wonderfest, and then GKM picks it up and recasts from the master and does that run or whatever, and they might do multiple runs of it later on down the line or whatever. But E2046 is like, we jacked your kit,
I think all of the ID stuff I've gotten, or what the hell, whatever they turned it into, their spawn off of Infinite Dimension, I can't remember the name, is all from GKM.
Yeah,
Accurate, right?
I'm not like hip enough to the greater Res world. Yeah. I'm not hip enough to Resin overall to like have concrete opinions about any of this stuff, but the stuff I've seen from GKM was way cleaner than the stuff I'd seen.
I've never done figures, and I imagine like I have no idea, but I would think that because of Gundams, even if they're a rounded design, have a certain amount of like geometry and hard lines to them, but like a figure, a person just doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine the cleanup is a little more complicated in some ways, but
it just kind of depends on what it is. Like, I've seen some stuff that looked like it was a dream, and like my buddy Laley's been working on this thing that's got like a lace skirt where like every hollow in the lace has to be like defilmed.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Just depends on the sculpt.
True. And well, the cast too. Hard to cast. Like things like that are really hard to cast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it depends on like who actually like did the tool making for it too. Like, so little is actually like tool made anymore. Like, where before a necessary part of the whole casting process was you'd take your master to a tool maker, they'd cut the model up the way it was going to work best for mold making, and then they do all their casting that way.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like, some dude makes a 3D printed model of like whatever his thing was, and then they just straight up like start casting it from that. I'm just like, you can wind up with some pretty wild stuff. But you can tell the ones that were actually passed through a professional tool maker and the ones that went straight from master to cast.
Mm-hmm. But I think you should sell it, Brian.
You should absolutely.
Yeah. Especially now that I'm needing to have some form of income, might be something that I should try and look at.
Yeah, I seriously like. I know we're tight and everything, but I would not say I think everybody should make one of these if I didn't think that. Like, this is a fucking cool model. You did a great job.
Yeah, and it doesn't exist. It's a thing. Yeah. I did a decent job with, I feel, and it's a benefit. It's not like I'm making something that already exists 1,000 times over.
No, it's cool. I like it. I had fun putting it together.
Hey, all right.
Fun is good.
Yeah, and if you're building model kits for anything other than fun,
yeah.
I don't know what you're doing.
I've definitely had some kits that I built because I was like, this is going to be amazing, and usually it was. But like, most of the time, if I'm not enjoying myself, I'm not into it. And I did enjoy myself the whole time. I was actually I was getting a kick out of the fact that everything fit together so well. Resin's always a pain in the ass like that. So
I tried to make it all work well.
No, you nailed it. I think it's really, really cool.
I did almost zero cleanup to the kit that I sent to you. All I did was cut
I can tell.
Spruce. So yeah, I can tell. Yeah. I ain't do shit.
It works though. I dig it.
I got a lot of gates.
That's it.
I ain't got all these. See? This is just from Full City.
That's crazy.
So much.
Machined the mold and then polished it for here. Good call, Ed.
I keep them around for to use in like diorama. If I ever want to use them in diorama, they got like a bunch of weird tree forms and shit.
Yeah, totally.
Someday I'll do a post-apocalyptic build.
Those are fun to do.
Or it'll be a modern day build.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Hey.
see what you did there.
Yep. Sorry.
That's okay.
It's okay. All right, so I built the little core dingle.
I hate it.
It looks like a TIE fighter.
I need some, but I definitely want some.
This goes there.
I remember back when Games Workshop used to periodically hire for apprentice tool makers. I thought that sounded like the coolest job ever. Just go like physically cut the molds that miniatures got made out of. Tooling steel molds that would be used to do spin casting out of. I don't think that happens anymore. I think that all gets done by CNC now, but
a post-COVID-19 build.
Yeah. I'll put a little shit stone in his fucking proper position here.
I'm so glad this is part of this.
This core fighter is horseshit.
What the fuck is this in here?
Fucking Leo. Here you go, bitch boy. I made your little pussy pie. I don't like yeah at all. So this is Tim and me button heads right now.
Oh, he's a EO fan?
Yeah, he's a
Fetty guy in general.
Yeah, he's a Fetty.
That's how you know there's something wrong.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm not a crazy EO fan. I think he's funny.
EO's the worst. Are you kidding me right now?
He's entertaining. I mean,
the worst. The worst Fetty. Like, they're all bad, but he was the worst of them.
Yeah, come on. Menage seems like a nice guy.
Daryl's like a white knight, man.
Yep.
Well, you can't be a white knight when you're missing all those limbs.
Dude.
You got to be the Black Knight.
Yeah.
Well, he does in fact always triumph, so it makes sense. Remember that time he shot down your Gundam with a dumbfire bazooka, one-shotting?
Yeah, when he shot down the Gundam with a Sturmfast.
Oh, so good.
It was great.
No super suit. No nothing. Just done.
I mean, he did have a neural link to the
suit that was shut off when he did it.
Yeah, of course. You know, that suit was 40 seconds from exploding.
Listen, if he was good, he'd have arms and legs.
Yeah. Oof. You voluntarily gave at least one of those up.
Anyone is better than Camille.
Oh, okay. Yes. Agreed.
I'm trying to think now. Hold on.
Let me qualify this quick.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Camille's pretty bad.
Yeah, he was just super bad.
Listen, everyone thinks they're a badass 16-year-old, but everyone would be crying.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, I'm having a hard time finding someone worse than Camille. Hold on.
I'd be back on the boat.
Yeah,
with Captain Whitehorse or whatever her name was.
This is horseshit. I'm not doing it.
I'm just gonna do all this space heroin up here. Don't worry about me.
It's funny. I'm not a fan of Camille either, but I do love Zeta. So
yeah.
I don't don't mind Zeta. I've watched it a few times.
I need to watch it.
It is. I mean, it's a space drama. Like it's
Yeah, it is.
It does have
I
a
like
lot of
it because it's
does have
depressing.
a lot of space magic.
Yeah, lots of space magic.
It's space magic and Transformers.
Very depressing.
Lots of Transformers.
The Transformers are hard for me.
Definitely sad space, but they have the transforming donut mecha.
I know, and if I'm watching, I'm into that, But if I'm not, then
it's not as depressing as Victory. Victory was like.
I heard Victory was tough.
Yeah, Victory is. I love Victory, but God,
I'm still trying to get over Bernie. So
Tell me no needed a hug.
Bernie, you never get over Bernie.
Bernie,
it's a heartbreaker right there.
Every day, it's too soon.
On all across the board, that is heartbreaker.
Zeta. No, Zeta is the only Gundam series I own that I only saw once. I just couldn't take watching him again. God, now I'm challenged. I hated that guy from Everybody from G Gundam sucked. So, I don't even remember his name.
Defeated in the East.
Why does Donut Gundam make you feel weird?
Does it not make you feel weird?
No.
Maybe Julio.
I thought it was awesome. When I saw it, when I saw the Astramar and the package, I was just like looking around at the hobby shop. It's when I used to film down at Rio Young Hobby Shop in Sunset Park, which is now closed, I think. But so I used to go behind the counter and kind of like pick out whatever the heck I wanted from the stocks and stuff. And obviously I buy it all because that's just how you do it. But I got to go back and like finger through the kits and look through everything, and figure out what I want and like pick through the paint rack and stuff. And when I picked it up off the shelf, I was like, what the fuck is this? And I looked at the front picture and I was like,
donut plane boss.
I turned it on its side and I saw that it transformed into like a donut or like a hamburger. And I was like, oh, I'm buying this right now. It turns into a donut.
Donut plane.
I laughed and laughed and laughed. It was so good. Oh, how we laughed. It was so good.
It's a good time.
Yep. I do enjoy it.
Just hit you in the feels. Yeah.
Oh, the hurt.
Yep. It's true. And it's all set around Christmas and stuff. So you watch
it's a Christmas Gundam.
Yep.
I watch it at Christmas, knowing full well what it's going to do every time.
Oh, of course. Well, I mean,
a little.
Do. Pick one.
A little Endless Waltz. A little.
Nobody watches Endless Waltz.
I watch Endless Waltz.
Nobody watches Endless Waltz.
I sampled Endless Waltz a bunch. I pulled a lot of sounds from Endless Waltz. But
speaking of people I hate the girl from Wing. I don't remember.
I sampled her a lot. See for yourself just how powerless you are.
Oh goodness.
Whoops. Okay, Buster Gun.
Get wrecked.
Yeah, that was one of the more effective shut ups in anime history, but yeah, I just could never get on board with the Wing. The roomies were into it. Until 8th happened, I wasn't on board.
Yeah, I remember seeing bits and pieces of F91 as a young lad as well. That really stuck out in my head more than most stuff. I remember coming across it after I kind of started getting back into Gundam on YouTube, just like part of it. And I started watching it and I was like, I have fucking seen this before. What is going on?
I'm not a huge fan of the F91 anime just because it's just hard to take a series and pare it all the way down to an hour-and-a-half movie and expect to get anything.
Oh yeah, sure.
They took a series they made like, I don't know.
But I do love the F9.
It is cool.
The base kit itself, Polly? Is that what you're talking about, or?
Yeah, the F91. I love that design because I love the automotive cues of it.
Gotcha.
The grill front.
Once a gearhead, always a gearhead.
That's right. 0083 was fantastic. I love 0083. I love Stardust.
I think it was, I think 0083 was before 8th, but I didn't see it before 8th. Like,
no, I think it came out after.
Did it?
No, wait, maybe I got that wrong. Hold on.
Because for me, the order was, and this is again just on what came to US TV, but for us it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It was Wing, G Gundam, and 8th in that order, and then I wasn't into the first two at all, and then 8th happened, and I was like, well, I live here now.
Yeah, I like Stardust a lot. I like the designs from Stardust.
Oh, Stardust is great.
Quite a bit, and it kind of killed space magic. Well, so did 8th, but they were both instrumental in killing the space magic.
Yeah, I don't. I get that the new type shit is like necessary to the overall plot or whatever, but I love it when a story can be self-contained without needing a fucking Jedi. Like that's
well, and like when I watched Gundam, I was like, oh wait, they kind of pulled that shit out of left field. Like they hinted around it for I don't know the second half of the series, but it wasn't like all new type.
Right.
Yeah, it's like something they kind of hinted at, and then all of a sudden it was like, bam! The last 3 episodes, all new type. I was like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, I just hate that it's like the built-in get out of jail free card for whatever plot problem we get into.
It's the MacGuffin. It's the ultimate MacGuffin.
Some series do better at handling it than others. Like I don't know why it didn't bother me in Unicorn. I don't know why.
Unicorn doesn't really
kidding me right now,
but. Unicorn didn't really
what do we do now? Time travel.
Yeah,
that is a little bit fishy. I do think it's kind of cool that like the extra new typedness of that particular machine and that particular like emotional resonance caused those machines to get taken back in time or whatever, like reverse.
Yes, that's how. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say out of it. I think they did a better job of like, oh, it's just space magic. They at least tried to explain it.
I just feel like we could be a little bit less on the nose than feelings saving the day, It's like
that's what saves the day, Phil.
We can go harder than that, gang.
We all understood each other, bro.
Enough with the feelings.
Cool, man.
Like,
we understand each other this week.
I get that I've only like partly watched Unicorn because I just get so fucking mind-numbingly bored by it that I just
the suits are so cool and the robot animation is so good.
Yeah, the animation, the
elements of it are great, but then
the music and the score.
The music is very good, and I'm not a Sawano guy. Like I like the score, but the problem that I have with it is that it's like I just lose interest and stop paying. Like I can be watching it and I just stop paying attention until there's a fighting again. But like the like when
that's
like
watching the Lord of the Rings, man.
Yeah, no, it is. It's very much like that. But like Shamblo shows up and he's like laying waste to shit for a second, and then like there's not even a fight, there's just feelings.
And well, yeah, the reason that Shamblo is laying waste to shit is because of feelings.
Stop with the feelings.
Feels.
Enough with the goddamn feelings.
Well, and on that note, we are at the 10-hour, 58-minute mark. We've been kind of steamrolling Texas streams, so I don't want to steamroll over on top of Texas stream at all.
No, that's fine.
Which is, I think, appropriate.
She's usually late, but yeah.
I mean, I'll wait until I see. Well, wait, let me see.
Have we got an alert from her? Is there an alert?
I haven't got an alert from her, but I'll text her real quick. Hey.
Catch up on the
hey, lady.
Give me my space magic, damn it. I'm in with all of my fellow builders. We are one collective conscious. Can you guys feel me? Unicorn, I only watched the Stark Jagan versus Kshatriya battle. Anything with the Kshatriya is awesome.
I love that suit so much.
Yeah. The Stark Jagan is
There's
nice.
no doubt that Unicorn has like top to bottom some of the best designs.
It totally does. Oh, and it's got like every suit in it.
Yeah,
like, every suit from the UC is in it.
Yeah, but I mean, even taking out like the stuff that just makes the cameo, like in general, like and it's weird because it's outside of the Unicorn. Like the Unicorn, I can really care.
Right.
less about, but everything else is great from grunt to bad guy.
Yeah, no, it's
the Sananji,
it is
the
cool
Kshatriya, and the Jesta in one, series.
Yep.
So like everything else.
I'm with you.
Jesta is real nice.
Yeah, Justice, especially for a grunt, like that's leaps and bounds above the GM.
Actually, just got my Jesta in the mail. I'm pretty stoked about it.
Great kit.
Little SD Jesta cannon from China. Pretty stoked. Those little Moya dudes. I think Justin built one a while back on his blog.
The master grade is great.
The master grade Jagan?
Jesta,
yes, the master grade Jesta.
Yeah,
I haven't built the Jagan.
Boring. Like I built it and I was like, man.
What, the Jagan?
Yeah, it's kind of like what you were saying about the Zaku Warrior. Like it's, I don't know. They just figured out how to make a good amount of detail with less parts, which is cool and all, but it like kind of makes it a boring build.
Sorry.
G Savior needs at least an RE100 kit. Sure.
Cool. Texas last minute technical stuff, and she's going to let me know what's going on. So we'll end the stream when that happens, and we can all go over there and check out, see what's going on the 8th MS stream.
I'm gonna.
I will as well, because I have this big robot to mess around with. And I spent all that time building this fucking
that you didn't want to build.
in the first place.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, I'm not even supposed to be here. How many dicks did you suck?
It's a lot of dicks.
Oh man, what a good movie.
It is. It really is.
Oh, don't boycott Tigs.
What?
Who said that? Oh,
Julio.
Julio is just playing.
He's like her second biggest fan next to me.
Yeah, he's gonna hop right over there. The wise guy.
There's no Robotech equivalent to Macross 2.
Across.
It's. Do you remember remembering love?
Oh, do you remember love? Yeah.
Or do you remember remembering love?
Do you remember remembering love's remembrance?
Do you remember loving remembering?
With Vernier boosters. I love those super parts add-on kit, guys. I cannot tell you how much I love that thing.
They are cool.
So many good greebly bits to add and play around with, and like 800 bazillion missiles. So
Robocross suits are fun. They just are.
Robocross, nice.
Yeah. I grew up watching Robotech. I make no apologies for it. Like
I have one from Delta.
Oh, you have one of the newer ones. Right?
Yeah, the Siegfried. I don't know. I just thought it looked badass as a jet. I've never watched Macross, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hosky, Texas moved over to YouTube. I'm no fan. I'm president. Oh, okay. Now we competing. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. She's not on Twitch. She's on YouTube.
Yeah, she migrated over.
Streaming. I did find out that StreamYard only lets you, on a free account, only lets you stream 20 hours a month.
It does.
Live. Right. So after I shut down my live stream on Tuesday, it was like, hey, you're bad at a time, buddy.
Oh, really?
To go fuck, really? Yeah, because I've held a few long streams. We did that one marathon stream 2 weeks ago Thursday, or 3 weeks ago Thursday, where I was on for 6 hours, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday or something. It was, I don't know, I can't remember. Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, that was when Tex was all. Yeah, yes. I remember.
That was a long.
That was a fun night.
Yeah. So what I think I'm probably going to end up doing is, even though I don't really have a lot of positive cash flow, what I am doing is streaming a lot. So I'm going to purchase StreamYard for at least a month, and then I can have unlimited streaming and different things to do.
What if we just? This is probably not a great thing to broadcast, but what if we just chip in and share key or no, it's browser keyed.
Yeah, it's browser keyed. So
Yeah.
it'd be fine. It's fine. It's not that much. It's only like $25 a month. So
I know, but that's a lot, for just an
Not-
access
Dude,
code.
not if I'm going to be streaming on it, and I'm thinking about doing more streams than what I'm doing right now.
It does
because-
let you do more stuff with it too. Like
Yep.
it actually like lets
Yeah, if you
you.
buy into it, you can do a lot of things to it.
It lets you
So,
treat it more like OBS. Like it's not as full featured as like Streamlabs or anything,
No, of
but
course not.
it's about as good as like vanilla OBS.
But yeah, I get like, I can have my own branding and stuff like that, my own pictures in the
You can put in your
background.
own overlays.
Do a lot of fun things. So
Husky, it's Tex Merquise, TEX space MERQUISE.
like Zex.
She hates Wing. Hates it. Horrible.
It's the word. She's
You're right,
her
Paul.
least favorite.
It is bad.
Least favorite.
I have some wing kits though. They are pretty fun. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, Wing kits are awesome.
Supernova Sandrock, super good. Love that kit.
I have some Wing kits,
You have.
as in all of them.
I remember when there was a period of our wonderful
Bill,
live stream
that's
here,
actually
Paul,
the
where
name of
you
her
were
channel.
only,
You don't have to search it. You will arrive there.
Paul was only building wing for a while.
That was all there was for a while.
No.
No, like
Earlier this year,
ago.
late last year.
It still seems like it sometimes. Every time the new releases come out, I'm like, really? Another tall geese? Look at that.
keep cranking them out, huh?
How many tall geeses did they make exactly?
I didn't buy that last round of P Bandai ones where they put like it was like the heavy arms with like an extra set of shit on its shoulders.
But it was orange. Yeah, it's like okay.
Oh no, they got me on those.
Hook, line, and sinker, my friend.
And then Supernova got me on another set.
Right. This
Hey,
one has
Supernova
bigger
kits are-
guns.
are good, man. I can't.
Yeah. No.
They are.
You know what'll
nice.
make this even better? More edge.
Little spikier, bigger gun.
You know what would make it look better? Longer legs. Ultimately.
It's true, they do.
Yeah, they are tall boys.
Longer legs, slightly extended frame.
Tall fellas. What did I do that for? I opened that up because I needed a
Alright.
polygon.
So I just got the heads up. Looks like our good friend Tex is going to be going live in about 2 minutes. So why don't we do our saying goodbyes here for this current stream, friends?
Paul, it was good to see you again, man. It's been a while.
Yeah. Definitely.
Fun
Let's do it
chat.
again.
Thanks for having me around.
Yep.
Of course.
This
Good to
is-
have you, bud.
This has been the KotoKai Robo-Dojo Workbench Edition.
KotoKai.
Y'all know me, the KotoKai Commander, Brobot Bro Builder, the Koto Kid. Pew-pew. You can find me all over this place under my channel. I try to put my streams, or I try to set up my streams early enough, at least several hours ahead of time, so that you guys get an alert if you ring the bell, and you can come back and check out next time and see what's going on. I try to be taking cues from Tim, and I'm trying to do a little bit of something different on every one of these streams, so that you're not going to get bored by seeing the same shit all the time. My main compadre for this long journey that we've been through for 62 episodes now is
62 dicks.
Yeah.
that's right, 62.
Yeah. We're almost ready for Social Security.
Awesome.
And joining us this I was gonna say is
No, you don't. No, go back to Paul.
Paul,
that was so
Paul,
bad.
just be quiet.
I'm Gunpla Paul. We hang out now every Thursday instead of Wednesday. We were doing Wednesday for 60 episodes.
Yeah, that's right.
But because of some other streaming conflicts, so we're doing them Thursday night. So come hang out with us. And now,
Hi. Okay, that's better. You don't get to go from like 62 dicks to now our special guest. Like 62 dicks. That's where you can find me.
Speaking of
62 dicks on YouTube. That's me.
you'll be
GIX.
you can come back and check out Mr. Phil on my Tuesday stream with Kyle and Z and Julio, as he will be part of this Horseman build off. for the Dr. Warrior.
Jesus, is he sending that thing?
He doesn't. He may. I guess he doesn't really realize it now, but he has been shoehorned into the build.
Because I need more things to build.
We all need more things to build, Phil. You know it.
All right. Well, either
I've
way,
heard you build stuff, so
that is an accurate description. So,
all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all next time. Don't forget to check out Child of Mecha. Tim has got the programming guide, and it's ever evolving. So we're updating it as things make minor changes. So if you want to know who is streaming when and what, you're going to be able to find it there. Thanks again, and I'll be back tomorrow night on Mechanism. You can check me out there with all the wild and crazy kids having a good time. See y'all. Sweep the leg. No mercy.
I guess.
Night, guys.